What is cracking? What's popping, you guys? What's up? Bring the volume down on. What's cracking? Bring the volume down on that. What is cracking, fam? How are you guys doing? You ready for day 3 of Lumafusion? I got a little bit of a bonus for you guys. Well, I think it's a bonus. I hope you guys will think it's a bonus too. Where are my comments? Oh, here we go. What is poppin'? Sammy Superstar, what is cracking? Gigi says no sound. Then she says never mind. What's poppin'? Tony, get low-key. Where do you think Koa is? You know, see, I'm wearing boxers today, so I'm not trying to show you my boxers. I'm trying to bring my boxers down. Had a long day today. Koalicious. She's over here under the desk hiding. Tony, so glad that you are back and running. How's your knee? How are things doing? Gabe, what is poppin'? What's cracking, you guys? Can you believe it? "90 days. Today makes day 90. How bananas is that? So I picked up all the stuff from the floor. You know what, Paul? You better leave me alone. I was trying to bring my boxers down. You better leave me alone. Let's get straight into it. I'm just going to end this early today. Did that work? There you go. What is cracking? Hey, what's happening with my sound effects? See, loop deck sometimes. I don't know. What is cracking? Yes, day 90. Let's see. Let's come back into my scenes. Let's go over here. Let's come over this way. And let's check out my face cam. It looks like shorts. I mean, you know, they're boxers, but they're shorts. And Koa is right over here. What are you doing over there? Out. Thanks. Definitely don't need you back there. Don't worry about my chair. So that's where Koa is. Koa is trying to terrorize me over this way. Get out. Oh, go. Go. All right. What is cracking, fam? Yes, day 90, 10 days to go. I can't believe it. What? Ooh, tubing. I've done tubing once in Delaware, on the Delaware River, Pennsylvania, on the Delaware River in Pennsylvania, on the other side of Pennsylvania. And it was actually really fun. I did it on a super hot day, and it was in like the middle of the summer or towards the end of the summer. So the water was naturally warm, and it was the best thing. And I did the longest one, which was probably about 3 hours. So great. I said I wanted to go back. Yeah, 90, going streaming tonight myself for the first time in weeks. That is what I am talking about. Good stuff. Yes, 10 more days to go. We are on the tail end of this 100 days challenge. And yes, thank you, Gigi, for saying that, because that is 3 full months. Today made 3 full days. I need 100 guests for, Sammy, I've been thinking something along the lines. I'm trying to do like a mashup. We are on the same page, Sammy Superstar. 100%. Nano, what is it cracking? Gonna have to change the channel to channel name just for cams. Paul, you better leave me alone. The Koa cam needs to be exclusive. I agree. Doesn't it need to be exclusive? You are 100% right. It does need to be exclusive content. Then I can just kind of, I can do a duplicate these scenes, right? And then I can just duplicate these scenes where it's one scene like this, and then the other scene will be, let's see, let me come back over here. Then I can duplicate the scene, but then it can kind of look like this, where it's zoomed in on here, right? And it can be just like in different angles and just moving it around. I can turn this camera over this way and angle it more. Get out from under there. There's nothing there. And so, yes, I'm wearing my boxers today. Hi, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. Because I had to drive up to the corporate office for a 45-minute meeting. I drove up 4 hours. 2 hours going, 3.5 hours. I won't exaggerate. An hour and a half going and 2 hours coming back because of traffic for a 45, do it one more time. A 45-minute meeting. And we're going to leave it at that. That is all we are going to say. Clarence, I'm so glad to see you here. And since you are new here, this is what we do for new people to the group. What is poppin', Clarence? I appreciate you. So glad to see you here, and so glad for you to say that the 2 videos on Lumafusion were golden. Good. That makes me very, very happy. So today we are coming back with day 3. Oh, don't be sad, because I'm still going to do at least 2 days a week. I promise. I'm going to do at least 2 days a week. One will be ladies' night on the weekends on Sunday, and then the other one will be probably, it's either Tuesday or Thursdays, because I just remember that Wednesdays in the evening is a ride, a cycling group ride that I do with the cycling group that I'm in, KRT, QRT. So Wednesdays is a no-go. So it might be Tuesdays or Thursdays. So you'll get me at least twice a week, and you'll get pre-recorded content from me because I can get back to doing that stuff. All right, go back to work. Go back to work. All right. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Okay. So we're going to do some audio stuff, but I have a bonus for you guys. So you guys, for the most part, have all, I think almost all of you guys here have all watched the Stream Deck, the Ecamm on deck. I've mentioned a few different times about royalty-free music. If you are an if you are a Stream Deck user, you don't have to use Epidemic Sound. You don't have to use Streambeat. Well, Streambeat is free. You don't have to use Storyblocks. You don't have to use any of those audio Artlist. You can get completely free, royalty-free music through the Stream Deck store. So we're going to go through that one time really quick. Let me just show you guys. Do I have anything here? I'm going to switch some scenes up right quick. All right. Let's move some things around. This is going to be really quick because this is not the bonus, but I need to show you guys just in case. So there's the store. Make this a little bit smaller. Go back. Bring this up. Good. Make this bigger. Okay. It's going to do 2 different things. I am also going to come here. Oh, Koa Cam. Me here. Oh, all right. Hey there. Hey there. Okay. And hide my days to go for now. Come back. Okay. So now, here we are. If you have a Stream Deck, this is the menu, the software that you are mostly going to configure your Stream Deck from. You bring your buttons over from the right-hand side. Those are your plugins. You bring them to an empty spot, and that's how you program your Stream Deck. If you have a Stream Deck, you get access to free, royalty-free music, and you get that royalty-free music by clicking on this little icon that I'm like circling. It's a little baby Stream Deck over here. You're going to click on that. That's going to open up the Stream Deck store. And I'm just trying to breeze through this. And here is your Stream Deck store. When you click on it, it's going to open up this Discover page. And you can see along the bottom, you have Discover, plugins, icons, music, and sound effects. Move over. I have a thing with making sure that I'm centered. All right, so we're going to click on music. And then you guys can filter and download your free music to your heart's content. So whatever this is. Now, here's the thing, and this is why I wanted to come and talk to you guys about this, because what if you wanted to bring this music in to your videos? It's royalty-free music. As a Stream Deck user, you can access it on YouTube. You have rights to use this music. So if you're going to bring it in and do something pre-recorded, it can be cumbersome if you're editing and want to bring in a file after the fact, right? An audio file as intro music or outro music for a pre-recorded video. So it's like, well, how do I get this music into it? And because India, and I told you guys yesterday, because K-Walk was not yelling at me, but K-Walk was yelling at me and said, India, why do you make things more complicated? And I said, well, my dad always used to yell at me and tell me I made things more complicated. And so today we're going to simplify the process. When you download music from the Stream Deck store this way, it downloads into your computer, but it does not download in a standard MP4, MP3 format that you can use in a universal, that you can put it in iTunes or Apple Music or something like that. They download this in a proprietary Stream Deck audio file that technically you cannot use somewhere else. So how do you get that music? So what you do is, hey, Environmental, how are you? So what you do is you figure out the music that you want, you get it downloaded, and then we're going to go back to our Stream Deck. So now I have music that I downloaded, and I'm going to download that song. Just going to go through it, click on it, download, cool, boom, it's now downloaded. Going to come back to the store or my configure Stream Deck. We have our plugins on the right-hand side, and you have a soundboard plugin where it's play audio. I'm going to drag this play audio to this empty box over here. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose that song that we just downloaded by clicking this choose button. And this is the one that I just did, this Funky Good Times. I'm going to hit open. And now it shows up on my Stream Deck. So if I play it, hold please. Hold please. Ooh, come on, play nice. Oh no. All right. Hold on, guys. Like I said, this was a bonus, so I could have planned a little bit better, but you guys love me and you guys are flexible. So come back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come this way. Hey, come back one more. And now you're seeing my Stream Deck, right? And this was the song that we just downloaded. So I'm going to play that. And you guys should be hearing that music. I'm going to stop it. All right. So you can see that I have it on my Stream Deck. You can play it. You can hear it. All of that good stuff, right? So that was that there. So the workaround for you to get this. Thank you, Clarence. We appreciate you. Hey, Dr. Omar, thank you for coming through. I always appreciate you coming and supporting. So now let's go back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen share. Switch scenes. And now, I'm going to minimize this. We no longer need the software. But what I want to show you, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to bring this. I'll keep myself to here. And I'm going to duplicate this here. All right, cool. And, okay. So you can see, I can zoom in, I guess, a little bit. And I just want you guys to see that I'm pressing. That's all I'm more concerned about. I don't want you guys to worry about seeing what's on the screen. So now we want to record that audio file into a file. I'm going to stop it. We want to record that audio file into a file that we can use, let's say, to bring into Ecamm, because I want to save it. So what I'm going to do, just moving some windows around real quick for you guys. Turn on live demo mode, and now you're seeing my Ecamm, right? So you can see this is my sound effects menu that I'm moving around, and I do have a handful of music on my sound effects menu. So let's say that song, not that, this one. I want to bring that song into this sound effects so that I can play it and just have it a little bit more seamless. So we have to convert this song into an MP3 format so that it can be playable in Ecamm. So what you're going to do as Mac users, it's QuickTime. If you are a Windows user, I know Nano is a Windows user. I'm sure that it's probably, what is it? I forget the name of it, but I know that there's the equivalent. It's like, is it Windows Media Player? That's mad old school, Nano. I know you know what I'm talking about. No shade, but you know. You're going to bring over whatever the equivalent is on Windows for your QuickTime. But for this purposes, because the majority of us rules right now, we use QuickTime. So I'm going to open up a QuickTime player. And so you can see this is the QuickTime window. I don't want to do anything with the QuickTime window. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm going to go back to QuickTime. I'm going to right click. This is what you want to do. Open up QuickTime, right click, and we're going to do new audio recording. That's what I want. Cool. Oh, now I'm going to turn off live demo mode. You guys don't need to see the rest. All I want you to see is a screen share. So I'm going to, where did my audio recording go? Hold on, I lost a button. There you are. Wait a minute. Okay, come on. Hold on. Okay, bring this over here. Good, now that's what I wanted you to see. So a new window opens up, this new audio recording window from QuickTime. Choose wherever your source is. So I have my Stream Deck audio, which is a virtual microphone that I made. You can use the Ecamm virtual mic because the Ecamm will pick up your sound. So however you have, whatever mic will pick up the audio from your computer. So for me, it is the Stream Deck audio. I'm going to leave that, right? Oh, where'd you go? You leave the volume all the way down because if you bring the volume up, it will create an echo. So then I'm going to, this is what I want you to see. I'm going to hit record. I'm going to stop talking, so I'm going to mute myself. So I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm going to mute myself because I don't want any other audio. I am going to mute myself because all we want is the audio that I'm going to record from the Stream Deck. So mute my mic. I'm going to hit record on QuickTime. Then I'm going to press the button on my Stream Deck so the music can start playing. We're going to do this for 30 seconds, so I'm not going to record the whole thing, or maybe 15 seconds, just so you guys can see. So here we go. I'm going to mute myself. All right, so now I stopped recording it, and what I should have actually done to make that, since I didn't record the whole song, I should have actually done a fade in and a fade out. So let's do that. I'll show you the differences. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. So I'm going to hit the X, and when you hit the X, it automatically pops up to let you save it like that. So I'm going to, what's the name of that? That's called the Funky Good Times. So I'm just going to label that. Funky, good no fade. So that's for me to know, right? Because we're going to do another one with a fade in and a fade out. And then I do have tags. So you can see I do have Stream Deck. So I'm going to tag this for Stream Deck. And I want to save this for easy access. For now, I'm going to save this to my desktop because we're going to get back to this. So now I'm going to hit save. Cool. That audio is now saved. We're going to actually go back and we're going to use this audio. The reason why I'm doing this is that we're actually going to use this audio in Lumafusion to bring it in as background music. And so again, I'm a Stream Deck user. I get access to royalty-free music. Why would I go crazy going somewhere else? It's like I already have access to 10,000 songs. Let me make my life a little bit easier. You just have to take the extra step of just recording it through QuickTime. However, if you, let's say, take a day, and you don't even need a day, but if you take, let's say, like an hour and you go through Stream Deck Audio, you download 20 songs, 20 sound effects, stingers, intros, outros, and you just go through this process. You record them all in QuickTime. Now you have royalty-free music that you can access. You can save it on your computer, organize your folders through music, sound effects, etc. And now you can use them in Final Cut Pro. You can use that in Ecamm. You can use it in Lumafusion, right? So it just gives you do work once, but then you're going to help set yourself up for the future. We spoke about this when you're organizing your assets. All right, cool. So we did that once. So we're actually going to go back. I'm going to open up my Configure Stream Deck menu. Going to go back to this scene here. And then what I'm going to do is right here, we have some options. I'm going to leave the volume alone because I want to make sure that it's loud enough. But if I don't want to bring it at 100%, so I'm going to leave it at 50%. If I needed to make it louder in my audio software, I can increase it, but we're going to record it at this volume. However, what I do want to do is I want to do the fade in and fade out. So we're going to do, and that's because I'm not recording the whole song. So now here's the thing. If you were going to record the whole song and use it in the way we're going to do this in Lumafusion in the video editing software, then I want you to understand that we can do a fade in and a fade out by itself in the video editing software. But let's say we're going to use this as a quick intro, like a stinger, then I want to be able to have this file recorded with the fade ins and fade out. So you can kind of do it two different ways. So I'll show you both. All right. So what we're going to do is, you can see I dropped this fade in and fade out. And then I'm going to do, let's say, a 3-second fade. Before we do the recording, we can test this out. So now you can see I put these settings. I'm going to stay quiet. So you can see it was a slow fade in. I'm going to press it again and it should slowly fade out. So I'm going to press that button. So that was a nice smooth fade in and fade out. 4 seconds is perfect for me. So cool. We're going to change. Now we're going to go back and do what we just did, do a screen recording, because it's going to save these settings. So let me come back to my screen share. I'm going to close this up and I'm going to open up QuickTime again. I'm going to right click on QuickTime. I'm going to hit new audio recording. It saves your default microphone. No, I don't want to. I hit record by mistake. Delete. New screen recording. And to get those options in QuickTime, once you open up QuickTime, you have to go back. So I'm going to do live demo mode again. What's happening here? See, my loop deck is letting me down, guys. I want to love you. See, I'm pressing the button. It's not working. It's okay. My Stream Deck won't let me down. Now we're on live demo mode. And I believe you guys see, well, I have the overlay. Come on. Make this bigger? No. Hold on. So I'm going to do this really quick. Oh, wait a minute. 1 second, 1 second. Okay. Command Z. What happened here? What am I doing? Oh, now okay, there you go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to leave this scene alone. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to come back to this scene here. And you can also see it in my screen, my monitor there. So I'm hovering over QuickTime, right click. And when I right click there, oh, I got to open up QuickTime again. Okay, so now QuickTime is open. Right click, and then it gives the option for new audio recording. Okay, cool. So I'm going to turn off live demo mode. Go back to screen share. So this is all we want. We want the QuickTime new audio recording. The settings stay the same from last time, right? So it's in my Stream Deck audio, which is the microphone that I've built specifically for the Stream Deck audio. And what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to mute myself. And I'm going to record 30 seconds of that clip. But with that clip, I'm going to have it, we're going to have it the same clip, just fade in and fade out. So I'm going to mute myself. Okay, cool. So now I got it recorded with the fade in and with the fade out. I'm going to then label that, right? Funky, good with fades. Hit my Stream Deck tag and save it to the desktop. Cool, perfectamundo. And now let's turn live demo mode on. Robert, what is cracking? I'm going to give you the details of my bike very soon. All right, so we're in live demo mode. I don't know how I have the settings. I don't know if you can see my sounds, my desktop. I don't know if I have that. But what I'm going to do, this is what I really want to show you. So I have my music, even if you can't see that there. Looks like you can't, but you can see my sound effects. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two songs and now I'm dragging this in to my sound effects in Ecamm. So that's the one with the fade. This is the one without the fade. I was testing this before I started the stream. So I recorded this one completely. And so now these are 3 different songs that I downloaded from the Stream Deck store that I couldn't have accessed otherwise. And so I'm going to hit play. And now, Paul, you're so silly. So right, that's one song that I downloaded and I can control the volume. Make it a little bit louder if I want it. All right, I can bring it down. So that's one song. Stop that. And then these were the songs that we just did. That's the one without the fade. So we're going to stop that. Here's the one with the fade. Okay. Hi. Ow. All right, so I'm going to stop that. And so that's a nice fade out. Okay, so now, let's turn off live demo mode. Boom chakalaka. RK3, what is cracking, brother? That is a Trek Imanda, the 2022 Imanda SL5. I did upgrade the wheels, so those are carbon fiber wheels. I don't remember. They're the base carbon fiber wheels, so they're like the $800 carbon fiber wheels, because they go up to like $2,000. I started with the base, but it absolutely did make a difference When riding, I go faster, and it does make a difference when you're climbing up hills. Absolutely worth the upgrade for carbon fiber wheels. And I did go tubeless 2 months ago. I went tubeless. Oh, game changer. Anyway. All right. Happy birthday, Koa. Koa is terrorizing my life. Happy birthday, RK3. I appreciate you. I'm sorry I didn't make it to the century ride for your birthday, but happy birthday. We still got to ride together. All right. So now you guys saw we took music from and now I don't need to do screen share. We took music from the Stream Deck store, royalty-free music that we have access to, quickly put them in the Stream Deck, went into QuickTime, did a recorded audio to get it into MP4 format. And now I have those files on my desktop. I also have them in Ecamm so that I can use them a little bit more universally without being stuck to the music being stuck on the Stream Deck itself. All right, cool. So we got that. That's all right. Cycling is cycling. Listen, you're still a part of the family. So that is all good. That is all good. And Paul is reminding you guys, if you have a Stream Deck still in the box, you need to check out my Stream Deck Masterclass because I go over this type of stuff in detail. And that is the link there. You are very welcome, guys. You're very welcome. All right, cool. All right. Okay. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you with that. There's get down. Terrorizing my stream. So now what we are going to do is I'm going to unplug my loop deck really quick. Move that back out of the way. Going to come back over here. Go to this scene here. Oh, it's not showing anything. So you guys can see my iPad, but you cannot see me. Oh, I know why. So do I want to do this one? Nope. Do I want to do this one? Maybe. Okay, we can do that. And what we are going to do is turn on NDI because now we are going to do the bee's knees in Lumafusion. I'm like, where's my hard drive? Cool. Move that over. Plug the hard drive in because I edit all of my files from the hard drive. Come over here. Come on. All right. You can see another screensaver RK3 with my bike because I love my bike. Open up Lumafusion. Turn this off so you can see the iPad a little bit better. Move this over this way. Cool. Perfectamundo. All right. And this is the file that we were downloading and messing around with yesterday, right, with the doggy. So we're going to turn this into a reel. So what's happening? So the music is playing. It sees it. Let me force close it. Open Lumafusion back up. There you go. All right, so this was the file that we downloaded. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because I was not in love with the sound that I put on here. So I'm actually going to delete this track. So we're going to delete this audio track. And what we're going to do is I should be able to get the music. I saved it to my desktop. So my desktop, I sync to my iCloud. So I should be able to access that. So now what we're going to do is that is a linked folder that I have. So I'm going to click on the upper left-hand corner in Lumafusion. I'm going to click on linked folders. And I lied. So I'm going to add a link to a folder because apparently I don't have that. And you can see that I have, you can choose. So here's my iCloud drive. I do have my desktop here. And I'm just going to get my desktop all together. I'm going to hit done. And now that's everything that's on my desktop. And here's a bunch of stuff that I have. Oh, but these are all saved to the cloud. So for now, then what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to airdrop this from my computer just in essence of time. Gonna take that song. You're not seeing what I'm doing, but on the desktop, I'm just right-clicking on the song. I'm clicking share file. And what do you have? Where are you? Koa. Why? Okay. All right. So look, check this out. So it does give me the option, AirDrop opens up, and what do I want to open this with? Lumafusion? Will that work? It did work. That's this file here. Happy Walk. If I play it, and I should be able to play the sound. Let me see. It is showing up here. So I'm going to lower this. Let me see. Does this work? So go back here. So I can't hear it. Can you guys hear that? It shows that there's playing music. I cannot hear it. That's interesting. Come back. Play. So I can hear it on the speakers. I don't know if you guys are hearing that double. You hear it on your end? Okay, so for whatever reason, that's weird. And it did that yesterday. I couldn't hear it on my end. And the other day when I did it, I was able to hear it. Let me subtract. Let me do this one more time. I'm going to add it, add a new one. The display. All right. So cool. So that's the song anyway that I wanted. So as long as you guys can hear it and it's playing, that's fine. So all I'm going to do is I'm now going to click on that and I'm going to drag that file completely in. And so if I want to now play that song, well, you guys are hearing it. I'm not hearing anything. That's so weird. Why? Oh, well, first of all, it's coming up on my, where are my AirPods? Well, that's a problem. Because only one is in the case. That means, is the other one upstairs? No. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hold 1 second. Let me lock Koa here because I left an AirPod on the sofa. All right. I just hope that the AirPod is still on the sofa. That's a problem. All right. What's happening here? So I'm going to go to, so now it should be playing on the iPad. Play. I don't know if you guys are hearing it double. Forgive me if you're hearing it double, but that's fine. That's perfect. I want that music. All right, so now we have the music there. And what I want to do is because this is a 60-second reel, the song is about 2 minutes long. So then the next thing I'm going to do is just drag it and let it snap into place. All right. And there you go. So now the music is just as long as the audio files. Okay, so now, how do we get it? Oh, so it's not double. Maybe, I hope that my AirPod, Paul, please don't. I hope. Why I do this to myself is beyond me. I hope it's not in her tummy. But I'm glad it's not double. Okay, good. All right, checking out Indie America Stream Deck course. Okay, very good. That makes me very happy. And make sure that you reach out to me for a special code. David Hunt, I appreciate you. All right, so let's go back here because now my loop deck isn't turning on. Not that I need it. Okay, so let's go back. So now we want to fade the music in. We want to fade the music out. So what do? So the easiest, quickest way to have it fading in and fading out is to add transitions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the folder on the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to open up a transition. And what we are going to do is we are going to, is it cross dissolve? I feel like it might be cross dissolve. Hold on one second. And let's see. I'm going to make this longer. It's not. Hold on. It has to be that. Maybe not. I just did this right before. Kind of, sort of. Hold, please. Hold on. Espérate un momento. Now I'm all stressed out about Koa too. Lee, what is cracking? How are you? Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Purple Paisley Planner, what's up, girl? I see you popping in. I appreciate you. Doom. Let me see this right quick. There's that. All right, hold on. Because I usually do it, I'll be honest with you guys, I usually do it through keyframing. But there is an easier way that you can do it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Come on. Yes. Oh, it's cross dissolve. That is what I did. So why didn't that work? Hold on. Because that absolutely did not work. And I wanted to show you a simple way before we went into the more complicated way, because keyframing can sometimes be unnecessarily complicated. So let's come back. All right. So I'm going to try this one more time. All right, so yes. So I'm going to delete that. And actually, so one of the other things is you can see here that there's no audio at the very beginning of that file. So we can bring this in right before. And that might be why it wasn't working. All right, so now that should. Okay, so that might be why it wasn't working, because the way I recorded it, there was some dead space. So it might be that the cross dissolve was trying to cross dissolve already dead space. So this should work. Bring this in, bring that over. I'm going to take this and make this longer. There you go. So let's go back. So it automatically brings, okay, so let me start from scratch now that I realized why it wasn't working. So I'm going to undo. So you'll go into your transitions. You're going to pick up a cross dissolve, and you're going to bring in a cross dissolve in the beginning. You're going to bring in a cross dissolve at the ending. So we're just going to take this cross dissolve, put it over the very beginning. We're going to go to the end of our track, and then we're going to bring in at the end. Okay. So now let's say, what does this fade sound like at the end? So you can see at the ending how it goes, right? But it's kind of a quick fade out. And then the same thing, if we go to the very beginning, it's like a super quick. So let's say you want to make that a little bit more slow, a little bit more dramatic, that fade in and that fade out. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that cross dissolve, the purple file, and I'm going to make it bigger, right? And you can make that as big as you want. That's just going to draw it out, the music. So let's say kind of there. And let's see. And I'm going to do the same thing at the end, drag this out. over here, and I'll try to match them. Okay. And now, so I'm going to hit play. And then that went up to 100%. So, and then let's listen to the fade out. So here's the thing. When you do it this way, it's quick, it's easy. So if you want to do something on the go, like this is a reel and you want to get it done as quickly as possible. So if you're doing a YouTube short, an Instagram, a TikTok, that it's going to be a 60-second video, a 90-second reel or something like that. You don't want to go too crazy with keyframing and things. So I would say for this type of video editing, doing a cross dissolve where the app does the fade in and the fade out for you is a very great way. Let the computer do the work for you. But as you can see, I mean, for me, I wasn't too happy with the way it does the fade in. I like how it does the fade out, but the fade in, it just like, it fades in. And even with making it longer, I feel like it's still really loud. So let me make it a little bit louder and see what that sounds like. That's a little bit better, right? So that's one way to mess around with it. Or now we can go in and we can manually choose the volumes that we want by selecting keyframes. So the quickest way was to go into your transition, adding a cross dissolve at the beginning of the end, and then letting it, it's on an automatic fader for you, and just kind of set it and forget it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete those two files, go to the end, delete that transition. And now we're going to start to, all right, I just want to kind of get this right in front of me. We're going to start to double click on the audio. And now we're going to kind of control the volume and the levels on our own. So the first thing, and this is with using keyframing, right? So I'm in the audio file itself. I double clicked on it. It brings me to this program or this section of the app here. And the first thing I want to do is we're going to start, let's say, our starting pace. So I'm going to immediately add a keyframe because I want to start at the beginning of this file. Then I'm just going to move my playhead over a little bit, right? So seeing how far I want to go in, and I'm going to add another keyframe. And so then what you can see is I added two keyframes. And if we look over here, right, there's one green dot. You can see the green dot a little bit better. Those are two keyframes. So I have my starting point and then I have the next point. So now check this out. So if I want at this particular point, as I go to my volume, you can see I can bring my volume down or I can bring my volume up. So I'm going to hit undo because I want to get back to the baseline. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my very first keyframe. So I'm going to click on the arrow over here. So this arrow with the line in front of it takes me to the very beginning, my first keyframe. And I hold on. Okay, I clicked on it. All right, so now I'm highlighted so you can see the blue playhead is right at my very first keyframe. I want to start at 0. So now I'm going to start at 0. No. Jim. So actually, I was wrong. So we're going to go back and I'm going to delete my keyframe. So I'm going to hit X. I'm going to delete this keyframe. I'm going to start at 0. So before we do any keyframe, you're going to start the volume wherever you want before you add in a keyframe. So if I want to start at 0, I'm going to bring my volume down to whatever this looks like, or not 0, but basically the lowest volume where there's no sound. Now I'm going to add the keyframe. Then I'm going to move over a little bit. All right. And I'm going to add another keyframe. So now with that other keyframe, I can start to go up. So check this out. So my very first keyframe over here, it's starting at that point. And now I'm on the second keyframe. As I bring it up, you can now see, right, that audio line it starts down here, and then I can start to control the fade. So we're going to do very slow fade. And then all you want to do is you kind of just have to take, and that's why they're keyframes, because you're going to take your playhead, and depending on where you're at with the music, you're going to move it a couple of frames. You can either do 10 frames, you can jump in. So you can do this a few different ways. You can move it 1 frame, you can move it 10 frames, I believe is the default, or you can do it with your playhead. So if you want to do 1 frame, you can actually click on the arrows left and right, the inner arrows left and right. So over here or over here, kind of. So I'm going to go back to the very beginning, right? So clicking on the outer arrow with the line pointing it takes you, it jumps to all of the keyframes, right? So you can see you have that frame. I'm going to click on the outer arrow. It takes me to my very next keyframe. If you click on the inner arrows start to move 1 frame per second. So you can see I'm clicking, and if we look on the bottom, this is doing very small increments. So let's go back to the second keyframe. And usually sometimes editors will keep the numbers consistent. So if we want to do 10 frames a second, I'm just going to tap 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not a big enough movement. So what I'm going to do, that's why I go ahead and I just kind of take my playhead and I just kind of visually gauge it. And I say, okay, I'm going to add in. So I'm going to hit the little plus. There's another keyframe there. And now start to bring it up, right? So what you want to do is you want to have a decent succession. So you want to move it, kind of space it out evenly. You also want to pay attention to the volume itself. So then right now, this volume where I'm at, we're at 16.8. I don't want the music to be too loud. And you want to be especially mindful of that, especially if you have, like so in this video, I turned off all of my voice. This is just going to be audio. So that's okay. But if you have a pre-recorded video where you want to have intro music and outro music, or even if you want to have music in the background, then you want to be careful of what that top end of the music is, because you don't want your voice to be competing with the music. And usually, I think for me, when I'm talking for my intro and outro music, it definitely doesn't go over 15. And I think I keep it at around -20 on the background. All right, so, nope. So I'm going to add another keyframe here. So I added another keyframe, and then I'm just going to move over a little bit more, kind of over here, and then just bring this, let's say, to -10. Cool. Then I'm going to go towards the end of the video, go all the way towards the end, right? So now we're at the end. And then what I'm going to do is going to add a keyframe. So now I'm at the end, add a keyframe, and then that volume. So we're there. Let me go back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working my way backwards. So maybe right over here. Going to add a keyframe, and now I'm going to start bringing the volume down. Shit. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go back to the end, and I'm going to delete that keyframe. And then I'm going to come back, and now, so we got that there. And then I'm going to move it over a little bit, and now add a keyframe, and now start with the volume down, and then the same exact thing. Take your playhead, add a keyframe, and start bringing the volume down. And usually what I'll do is I'll try to pay attention to like these keyframes here. So if I want to see, and kind of just match the volume. So that's what I try to do, right? So at the top end, we're at 10.1. Then we go to 16.8, 22, 30. So 30. So just kind of in the reverse order. So it's actually 16. Hey. Right? So this one, that's 10. And then the next one should be 16. So we got that. So then this one here, If I want to match it, it's going to be like 16.8. Then I'm going to move over just a little bit. And what was this one? 30, I think. Oh, 22 is the next one. So that's 21.4, which is right around there, 22. And then we're going to move a little bit. Add a keyframe. That one is 30. And then I'm at the end. So I probably should have started sooner. But now if we just want to go back to the beginning and see what this sounds like, let's see. So I'm at the very beginning with the first keyframe, and this should be a much more controlled fade in and fade out. What is cracking? Pyra Broadcast, thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, Gretchen, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Okay, so now we're at the beginning. You can see I started down with -54, so that's pretty much non-existent, and then it should have a steady increase up. So let's see. So you can mess around with it. And that's why I said this is more advanced, because until you, like, as you're beginning and you get to know your music, right? I probably should have started. So if I come over here, what I would probably do is kind of start everything a little bit higher. So then move over to the next keyframe and then start bringing everything up little by little, move over to the next keyframe. And that's the one good thing, is that once you do keyframes, you can kind of, you're easy. And just bring this over here. So that's 12.6. Now we're going to go to that one here. Bring this down to match. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete that keyframe. And then bring this down. Nope, I want to delete that. Darn it. And this one should be, yeah. So make it even, so they're both 12.6, just about. So then that starts. And now let's see what the fade out sounds like. So I'm just going to move this back a little bit and then hit play. Let me bring up this here. Okay. Hey. So you can see the end, I did a little bit better. The ending was a much smoother fade out and fade down than what the beginning was, but I did adjust it. So let's see what the beginning now looks like that we went back and readjusted it. So let's hit play. So kind of right between these two, that's a little bit of like a too much of a solid jump. So I would probably just mess around with it and maybe keep adding another keyframe or something like that. But just to show you the differences of how you can add in a fade in and a fade out, either using keyframes, so you can see the amount of work that it takes when you're using keyframes. And so for an edited video, a pre-recorded edited video, I would absolutely say take the time, and that's how I do it. So when I have, like I showed you guys before, if we go back to my projects, right? Let's go back to my project files over here. I do have music here, right? So let me just double click on this and let's take a look. So you can see I actually did a few different things. So I actually have just the intro music as I'm talking, and then the music, I just get rid of the music altogether until I'm done with the video. And then when I'm done with the video comes in, and then I have a slow fade out, right? So if I double click on that, you can see, right? If we look on the screen, you can see that I did put a handful of keyframes. And if we listen to what that sounds like at the very beginning of my video. So you have the Rode Wireless Go-Tos, and you want to connect it to your iPhone because the box says made for iPhone. iPad and iPod, as well as made for USB-C devices. But it didn't come with any other. So let me see. Right. So so that's what I mean about making sure that the music is not, your voice is not competing with the music. So you got to listen to a little bit of the two. And so actually I lied to you guys. I told you guys that when I have background music, I keep the music at around 15 or 20. You can see here, this background music is actually at -32, and it's still kind of loud. Oh, like it's right under my voice. You can make out my voice, but it's still actually kind of on the loud side. Make that happen. Hey everyone, I'm India Delgado. Thank you so much for tuning in. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys. So then I'm just trying to see. Okay, so then here, right, I go into like a little intro scene. I'm going to hit play out somewhere. Let's get straight into it. And so what I did was I took that opportunity, and then I'm just fading out the music altogether so that if we watch from here, what happened? It's not playing. To it. That's so weird. I can't hear it, but you guys can. All you need are 2 cables. It's under $25. That's fine. Whatever. But then you can see like how it faded out, right? And then if we go back to now my outro. So let's take a look at what the outro looks like over here. So it's the same thing. So then what I did was I made sure wherever I ended the music, that's at -25 dB. So what does that sound like as we come in? Enjoyed this video. Please don't. Why can't I hear it? Oh, because it went back to my AirPods again. Ay, okay. So let me come back. Enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to connect your Rode Wireless Go-Tos to your iPad device. All right, guys, catch you guys on the next one. Peace. And I could have even, honestly, I could have probably done even better with the fading in and the fading out. But again, as you start to do it, right, it's definitely trial and error. You have to mess around with not only the levels, making sure that the levels sound good and what level do you want it to be at, but also messing around with the timing so that it's not like this sharp drop or it's not this sharp increase. It's a good steady decrease or a good steady increase depending on what you want. So that is that there. Let's see. I see Laura. Hey girl, how are you doing? Laura came through to say hello. I appreciate you. I'm just now able to catch up on this Art of Live. I'm going, let me see, I lost my windows. Catch up on the other Lumafusion replays. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah. So let's see. You guys didn't really have much questions today. You guys have been quiet with the audio. Let me just go back to that project that we were working on. Nope, that's another one. I don't know. Where's that project? Oh, here it is. I'm like, oh my God, that could not have. There you go. And so now we did, so let's see what this looks like in its entirety with the music fading in and fading out. So yeah, that particular second, that was too abrupt. So I would go back in, and right at the end, it was like at it was a good steady fade. And then that very last keyframe came in and just like was like, it jumped from one to the other. So I would absolutely go back and fix that. And this should start fading out. So that was a much smoother fade out compared to my fade in. So I would just need to go back, right, and just work on the fade in. But I'm very happy with what that fade out looks like. And then that's it, right? So we kind of went in and we went over adding different transitions. I showed you guys how to do cross dissolves for your audio, how to add in keyframes for your audio. We can kind of do the same thing. We're right at over an hour. So what I'll do is I will do we went in and we cut a file for slow motion. Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. We'll cut another file and we'll do keyframes for zooming, because you can do the same thing for the video files. I'm not too versed in that. And again, I don't really like doing it. I'd rather do a plugin that does the zoom in and zoom out, but I want to show you guys how you can kind of do that. We added some overlay titles. So like this subscribe button, you can see that there's green here. We chroma keyed that out. So showing how you can kind of bring that in. Just trying to think off the top of my head. Like I said, this was definitely going to be for beginners, just to do basic editing, cuts, edits, bringing music in, bringing in different kind of overlays. Like we brought in those letters and things like that. So let's see. So let's say I want to go in, and what I want to do is, let's say here, I want to zoom in to when I give Koa, when Koa eats it. Then I'm going to do another clip, and I'm going to zoom in when Tyler, when he eventually takes it. All right, cool. So now we go in, and I'm going to just look right here. So I'm going to click on that video file. Where my playhead is at is where I want to cut it. And then right there, I'm going to cut that again. And so with this small portion where she's basically taking and just doing one little chomp, I want to zoom in on that. So now I'm going to go into that file. I'm going to double click. And all I want to do is, so if you use keyframes, it'll do it slow. I don't do that. So I just like to do like a quick jump cut where it goes into it. So then all I'm going to do is basically just zoom in, right? And keep her centered, and maybe kind of like this, where she comes in, and then that's it. So now check this out with that one frame, and then let's do the same thing. So it zooms in, then I'm gonna do right. Tyler's not having it. He's so mean to me. Right there. Right. He sticks his tongue out right there. So I'm gonna cut there. Oh, I cut the audio and the video, and I don't want to do that. So highlight the video, then cut, then move a little bit more. He bites it, and then cut again. Go into his video and zoom in on his face, kind of right there. And now let's go back. And right over here, double click, and let's see what that looks like. And if I wanted to add, let's say, a cross dissolve between the two, so then I'll go in and I'll add, let's see. It's a quick cross dissolve. So I'm actually going to bring that in right before, right over here. So let's see. So that it's maybe not as abrupt, right? So you can see that I cross dissolved in and then I cross dissolve out, so that the zoom in and the zoom out is not as abrupt. I know what you meant. It's okay, Laura. And so then we have that there. And then I'm going to do another cross dissolve and bring it in over here, so that it fades into him, and do another little cross dissolve, and then it fades out. So let's see now what that looks like. Make this a little bit bigger. That's a much smoother transition. And that's it. right? So just going in and adding all of that transitions. She knocked out under my feet after she was crazy. I know she knocked some stuff up behind me. I'm going to get her. But we basically went in and we added an audio file, which is this green file here. We cut up the video files to a few different things. So that's all these blue files up along here. The purple files are all transitions in between the video files, right? So we did the cross dissolves, and then over here, I think this is a slide in somewhere. That's another cross dissolve. Yeah, so that, you see, there's the transition there where it just slides in there. And then when we go to Koa over here, it does slide in from the other way. Well, that's a cross dissolve, and maybe, I thought there was another. No, so I just probably did all cross dissolves. And then you are good to go there. And then the audio fading in, the audio fading out, the audio. Do you guys have any questions? You've been awfully quiet this evening. That is, I'm trying to think if there's anything really, like from a beginner's perspective, if there's anything else that we can go over. But I believe that that's really good for a starter's perspective with Lumafusion, just to get basic edits. And then, like I said, if we go back to my projects over here, these particular projects, so this one here, this whole video I edited in Lumafusion, right? So I kind of went in, I did a bunch of different cuts. Let's go back into this video here. You know, so I brought audio in, I cut the video a few different times because that was like dead space. Trim the fat. What else did I do? Did I do anything? I didn't really do anything with my audio. I brought in this little kind of intro thing. And then the little arrow over here. So just to show you all the different things. So then there is a zoom in, right? I did that in my video, what I showed you guys, zooming into that part there. Then I kind of zoomed back out. Let's see what else is in here. So the same thing, there's another zoom in just to show the emphasis, zoom in, zoom out. And then what I did was, because I made a mistake, this was kind of like a little bit of a blooper right here. I said the wrong thing. So I zoomed in. So what I actually did was, check this out. So in the next cut, I took my red square and I made that. So over here, I zoomed in on just this section. And if we go here, I zoomed in and made that the main video to kind of emphasize my mistake. And then I just went back to the video. Let's see, what else did I do here? So then here I made a mistake. So I added that overlay title, internal to external, because I said external to internal. And then you can see I have some more. So I have the arrow there. And then just switching the scene, coming in, you can see I have like the little YouTube call to action on the lower right-hand side. And if we move down, just some more zooming in to different sections to kind of emphasize that. So that's a good zoom where I really wanted you guys to see the label of what that was. And just some more of that stuff. And then if we go towards the end, right, you can see I brought my audio back in, my sound. I brought in another call to action. So that like and share there. Then you have the subscribe button there. And then I also did a fade to black. I don't remember what I did, excuse me, to do the fade to black. Oh, keyframing. That's what it is. So you can see here. Yep. All right. So we can kind of do that. And so using the keyframing to have a smooth transition of fading to black. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I did 9 keyframes throughout, and I kind of tried to have a nice smooth fading. So I started at 100%, and then from 100, 90, 80, 68, 53, 40, 30. So it looks like I went almost in 10% increments, 20%. Yeah. 4. And then at 4, it was pretty much invisible. So let's go back and let's do that really quick. And then that's how we'll end it. So I'm going to go back to my projects. Over here. And what I'm going to do is over here is where I'm going to start, I guess, right over here. Well, sure. Fade to black. So I'm going to double click on it, and then we're going to do the same exact thing. So I'm going to add a keyframe. And now we added a keyframe, so you can see that the keyframe is right over here where the blue highlight is on the screen. And then to start blending to do a fade to black, what you want to do is blending over here on the right-hand side. And so we're going to basically change the opacity from 100%, and we're just going to bring that down to 0, right? Or as close as possible to it. So I added that one keyframe, and so let's go back, actually, the keyframe. So I'm going to add the little keyframe. Then I'm just going to move over just a little bit, and I'm going to start to fade. And then like we can do this in 20% increments. So now I'm at 80. All right, cool. And then come back a little bit more over here. Go down to 60. And then move over some more. Maybe get down to 40, 40. Then come back down. Let's bring this down to, let's say, 20. And then right over here, bring this kind of. And so we'll leave it at, let's say, 10%. So now if I come over and let's say we want to see what this looks like, I'm going to bring it over here towards the end. And I'm going to hit play. And that's it. So I probably could have maybe brought these two if I want to just bring this down. Let's say I'm going to bring this down to like 10%, 15%, and then move to the next one and then bring that down closer to 5. And that looked like actually a pretty smooth fade to black. And I think that was fairly quick and easy for the very first fade to black. The very first time doing the keyframing there. So now let's come in and let's see what that looks like full screen. Let's hit play. And that was a perfect fade to black. I would absolutely leave it like that. It faded with the music, and then we are done. So I am done with this video. It's a reel. I'm going to throw it up on Instagram, my personal Instagram. So now I'm done. I'm not going to do anything else. I have my fade in, my fade out with audio, fade in with music. We have some transitions, fade to black at the end of it. So we are good. So now I'm just going to I'm going to export this to a movie. I want to share an airdrop, because then what I'm going to do is, let's see. Gigi, are you still here? I just saw really quick, you said pray for me, and then I see that it's a video of the dogs trying to go down the stairs. I can't wait to see that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all these settings the same. If you wanted to change the settings, like if you wanted to change the resolution, if I wanted to do it in 4K, I can do it in 4K. The So you can see here, it defaults to Go DJI, but this was actually done with a GoPro. So I'm just going to keep everything else exactly the same. And I am just going to hit share on top. Gonna leave the name as is, share again. And so now it's going to do that. I can't wait to watch it, GD. He said, pray for me. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Is this something with work? Is this something with the house? And it's the two dogs trying to go down the stairs. So I can't wait to see that video. What is going on? Kevin, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Enjoy. Go help Jackie. Tell Jackie I said hello. And let's see. So what I want to do is we're going to bring then this in here. So let it export. And once it's done exporting, what I want to do is I'm going to share this to my iPhone. Oh. Okay. So it's saving to the iPhone. And then while that saves, I'm going to switch this here. I'm going to bring the iPhone in. Cool. All right. Yes. Open. And what's happening with the sound here? Okay. Hold on. So now I'm going to switch the audio source to the iPhone. And we should be able to play it. So let's see what this looks like. I like those, the cross dissolve while I zoom in and zoom out. It's not as abrupt. So I thought that that was really good adding it in that way. So there we did yesterday, or I think on Monday, Tuesday, we did a little bit of the slow motion on his head tilt. Koa's giving me the dirty look for whatever reason. And now it's going to start to fade to black. And the audio faded out. And so that is, I'm very happy with that. That is perfect. And that is how I'm going to end it there. Very good. Glad to see that you'll be back. I appreciate you. So, Kevin, I didn't see, so I did do research. It looked like we might be bugging with controlling the audio, the line. I think that is Final Cut Pro. I didn't see it. But I came in today. Hey, K-Walk, what is cracking? I did go in and show different options on how to fade audio in and fade audio out, doing a really quick way where you have no control over the level and how quickly it fades in and fades out, using transitions. And then we went in and did the alternative using, keyframing. Then I went back and showed how to zoom in and zoom out on a specific, let's say, clip. And then using the same keyframing, I showed you guys how to actually do a fade to black using keyframing and then the blending, changing the opacity from 100% all the way down to a smooth transition to basically 0. So that stuff definitely, if you guys want to check that out. Thank you, Laura. They're pains in the butts. They are good doggies, but they keep me company. Very opposite ends. The white dog, my pit bull, is Koa's 5 months. Ooh, she turned 6 months in 5 more days, June 7th. So she's about to be 6 months. And then the old guy, the Yorkie, he is 13 years old. So they drive each other crazy. Very late tonight, had to watch my kids in a talent show team replay. Cool, cool, cool. K-Walk is just reminding you guys, don't forget to hit that button, that like button before you guys leave. You guys really didn't have too many questions today, so we're going to leave it as is. And then that's it. I mean, I can do more Lumafusion stuff, but I am going to, like I mentioned before, I am going to build out a mini masterclass on Lumafusion. On my website, I just got to build that out where it will be more detailed, and it'll just be like step-by-step kind of specifics with, okay, this is the preferences, this is, you know, music, this is audio. So I will be doing that as well. And K-Walk coming through, or showing me some love by buying me a coffee or 2 or 3 at my Buy Me a Coffee page. Paul is saying bullseye. Bing. I appreciate you guys. And man, oh man. And was this the song that we just downloaded? I think this was the song that we just downloaded. So that was the song that I just downloaded. Bring that in over here. And this is the whole song. But guys, day 90. Can you believe I've done this for 90 days straight? I know I can't. It's been, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, 3 months, the way Gigi said, today makes 3 months technically. I'm a little sad. I'm happy because I get to have my time back. Because I could be doing a lot of stuff. I mean, what I think about, you know, we've been streaming for an hour and a half. Lower this a little bit more. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. I think about, man, an hour and a half every day. That's 8, 9. It's about 9 to 10 hours a week that I've been spending the last 90 days on live streams. So when I think about it that way, thanks, Paul, is that, you know, 9 hours a week definitely is at least one video recorded, edited, and uploaded on a weekly basis. If I decide to not do, let's say, one video a week, let's say I decide to do one video every 2 weeks, then I can alternate and I can build out my blog, because I really want to build out my blog. So like with things like this and some other stuff that I have in the mix. So I will be building out my blog. I'll be building out my website. I'll also be building out more mini masterclasses at a more affordable price point. So like the Lumafusion, because it's going to be advanced and it's not going to be as technical, I'm going to bring that in at a lower price point. I was talking to Paul. I'm going to do some cool things like creating overlays, kind of like this overlay, and making those available through Canva to you guys through templates. So I have a lot of ideas that I've been thinking about, and I've, you know, kind of had just like really simmering in my head and just like boiling over of, all right, so once these 100 days are done, like, what do I do? And that's what I'm really excited for. So I'm sad that I don't get to hang out with you guys every night. However, what that means to me and to the community now that I've now built with you guys is that then I can really bring out more videos. There's a lot of Rode Wireless Go videos that I want to do. There's GoPro videos that I want to do comparing the audio on like the Media Mod, comparing the audio on the Rode and the lav mic and things like that. So yeah. So I'm sad. I'm absolutely sad, and I don't want to talk too much about it because we do have another 10 more days. So I absolutely want to maximize and capitalize. But it's like, what is it? It's sweet satisfaction. What's the saying? I don't know the saying. Angie's always making fun of me because I'm always saying wrong things. Sour. What is it? Sweet, bittersweet. It's bittersweet. There you go. Is it bittersweet? It's definitely bittersweet. I don't want to talk about it. Now I'm getting all emotional. Do I plan on doing another? I actually have thought about doing Vlogmas. Although if my girlfriend is still watching, I don't want to say anything because my girlfriend may get really mad at me. Possibly. Thank you, Gigi. Listen, I could not think of that. I was going to just make up my own things with sweet and something and sour. I don't know. Thanks. But I definitely do have this on my agenda of content creation. We're going to do some more videos, and then I'm going to be doing kind of like a pack. And what I'm thinking, and you guys, because you support me so much, is that you guys always get to get the sneak peeks of what I'll be doing. is that I'm going to do a handful of different overlays. So I'll do like professional overlays, or not professional, but more professional ones, like the way I use for my bank, right? So like I use this overlay when I'm streaming for my bank. Obviously I don't have the 10 days to go, but you can see I have my bank's logo. I have my lower third. Those are the bank's colors that we use, right? So I have kind of streams and overlays that I've created kind of like this. But this particular one I did completely in Canva. And so what I am thinking, and then I have this one here, my intro that I did. I have this one here. I have this one where if you want to bring in an iPhone, right? Kind of some of those. And then I also have these overlays. I also created this in Canva where it's a kind of like a video moving scene. It's the city. So what I'm thinking is, let me see. And then there's also this one when I have guests on. I have that one there. What I am thinking is that one of the next things that I will be doing is kind of going back and revisiting, showing how to do these overlays for Ecamm from within Canva, but then making them available as very, competitive price points as a zip package. Because you can create templates within Canva where if, let's say you like this template, but you don't want the red because your brand color is pink, like Gigi, right? Or green or whatever it is. Being able to download a template. And I think I'm going to do something where like the price point, like I said, really, really inexpensive. I'm thinking around 10 or 15 bucks, but then I give you, let's say 5 overlays where it's an overlay of a countdown, right? An overlay of an intro scene, an overlay if you're going to bring in an iPhone, a vertical video, or an overlay of like a screen share of different size options. So without giving away too much, that's the stuff that I kind of have working, that when I get back my 9.5 to 10 hours a week that I'll be putting into and putting on the website and sharing with you guys. So, Gretchen says, well done. Final 10 countdown. I'll hit 200. You are a boss, because I definitely don't think I'm going to continue the streams, but not on a daily basis. So you are absolutely badass, Gretchen. You get it. You get all of that good stuff. You deserve that stuff. Congrats. I'm super happy for you. That's inspiring. Getting your momentum. Can't wait to see what you do next. You're an inspiration. Oh, Laura, thanks so much. That means so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are really... Oh, you're the best. All right. So we're going to do what we do. We will be back. Oh my goodness. Under 10 days. We'll be back tomorrow. I can get it together. I feel like I moved this. This should be like right here. There you go. See, that should be right there for me. So I'll be back tomorrow with 9 days to go. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Peace out. I will catch you guys mañana.